I have class coming in live to you, man. We're gonna check out some dog man videos. Then we're gonna get into this werewolf book, man. It's crazy out here, man. How y'all been doing though, man? How y'all been doing? Blessings, blessings. Let's get into this video right here. Let some people get in the building right quick. I know it's late. I'm doing an hour test on this because I had to set up some gear and whatnot, trying to get everything together. But I'm gonna get an official screen so this will be clear too, man. I'm gonna work off another device. I'm doing this from the phone right now, as you can see. This right here is crazy. We got some sound on this. See them eyes back here, man. I don't see why people want to even play with stuff like this. When you see it's moving like that and it's growling and all that, man, you don't even want to play with it. Let's see it. You got some sound on it? Is it on Bluetooth? Let's see. Hold on. My bad. Hold on, what's that? Alright. We'll wind that back right quick. And we're gonna zoom this in. Hold on, where my zoom, man? I need my glasses too. It's clear to y'all on y'all end, but on my end, it's blurry. Look at that right there, man. That's crazy, right? That's what we talk about with those glowing eyes. And see how it stooped down and then it got taller, you know what I mean? Thing about 8 feet, 7 feet tall right there. Look at them eyes, man, piercing through the soul. That's crazy, right? And look how it's following motion, man. I've been up out of there. I'm not sticking around to figure out anything else. You dig? There's no way. This is crazy. All right, let's go check out another video right quick. That's crazy right there. And this right here is a UFO. This guy was recording out here, man. This is crazy. Sound like a helicopter was in the area too. Oh, let's rewind that back. See if we can zoom the field on this. Oh, nah, it's too far up if I zoom in that way. That's crazy right there, though. Straight out of Star Trek. Always near the rural and wooded areas, too. Let's get into it, though, man. Hold on. God, dog, I closed out everything? Hold on. Tripping. Hold on, bear with me right quick. Let me get my pages back up. All right. Check this out right quick. Let's see what we got going on here, folks. Shout out to everybody. Adoption build. This my bad. This is a adoption video right here. Let me pull it back up. This has got to be one of my favorite experiences. This is why I need a mouse pad. But right here, I can't see the chats either, y'all. If y'all coming in the building, I'm actually on the phone recording this on screen projection on the wall. But yeah, this is an adoption scene right here. Real deal. This how fast they move in motion too. So we're gonna have a better setup once I get my screen. I had to put together a whole bunch of printing paper, but we got it working though. Gotta get it done. Look at that right there. Look at that right there, though. You see this? Right when dude got, or whoever got abducted. Right there. I'm gonna wind it back so I can get that out that body right.
One of my favourites, Bruce's. This is why the government don't want us to know about this technology. You'll be frightened to death. Look at them and go faster, girl. They can kidnap people from your home, and they're off.
That's crazy.
Guys, tell me what you think.
Kidnap you straight from your home, then they gone. That's crazy. And this is old footage right here, right? Of them scuba diving underwater, right? And they end up running into a small orb UFO. Look how fast that moved. This is old right here, man. I remember when they first showed this on live TV back in the day too. Everybody was like, dang, you know what I mean? Like they couldn't believe they had captured live TV, so it wasn't no clipping it unless you was just gonna end the show right then and there. It was live recorded. Crazy, right? Crazy, man, I'm telling you. All right, let's check this out right here. What we got right here? Oh yeah, man. Real deal right here. Let me mute that music though in the background just in case they mess with me about the music. Well, let's go and zoom this in. This is real deal. This is a dog man right here. A lot of people ain't ready for it, man. Dark web, dark web. Look at the eyes right here in the beginning too. How they glaring. It's almost like this one has the type of eyes that I believe are cold black, where they can turn on and off that shine somehow. Supernatural, man. Look at this walk, man. Look at how the arms hang off to the sides, the long nails on the hand. This is what we was talking about, what people run into a lot of times, you know. Have a bad encounter, they run into one of these. Imagine cutting through a field, shortcut through your backyard or something, trying to get to somewhere, and then you mess around and run into one of these, man. It'll be over with. Let's run that back one more time. It'll be over with. See the hawks on that thing. And they move way faster. I said, whoever was recording here, boy, and it was up in that tree area or up on the rock up on that mountain right there, man, they had balls of steel. There's no way. There's no way, doc. Zoomed in. He had to be a little distance from it, though, because you know how the cameras work. You can be a little distance and zoom in, and I believe that's why. You can also see the ear right there, too, but I believe that's also why it really didn't get a good look at him or sensed him or smelled him in the area, because whoever that was recording actually was a pretty good distance away from him, and with a pretty good damn camera, too, at that. But this right here was the son and father duel who was stalked by a dog man. I'm going to show you the type of dog man that we believe that was stalking them in this video. Well, let's get some sound on this thing. I'm going to move the mic a little bit closer. Hold on, my bad. Let's go. Let me get the mic a little bit closer. All right.
Wait. What is it? What is it? Hey, get over here. Get over here, Rafe. What is it? What is it? Stay behind me. What is it?
All right, if you didn't catch that right there, let me bring that right back. Bring the mic closer to me now, but let me bring that right back for you right here. Watch this bush right here. Right here, you're going to see the eye pop open. And matter of fact, we're going to slow-mo this sucker right here. We're going to slow-mo it. So let's get the speed, slow it down. 0.25. Watch right here. When it opens its eye. Pay close attention. You already see some motion in the background over here. Now watch when it opens his eye. See? It's moving around right there. Hold on. My bad. I didn't even cut it all the way back to the point where the eye moved. It's coming up right now, folks. I'm gonna point it out. And this when it was first making the growling noises from a distance. All right, now watch right here where it opens his eye. Boom, right there. You see that? See that? Run it back one more time. Hold on, let me hit it on the keyboard. There we go. Right here. Check it out. And that's why he was like, "Are you serious?" That's the typical response. You see that? Boom. Bring it back. Let me get it for you. And the head is massive if you're not paying attention. Right here, check it. The whole head is in this frame right here. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "What the hell is that?" You see the eye open up right there. Boom, brighten up. That's the amber eye right there. See that? Here we go. This how massive. Watch it now. You gonna miss it. Don't miss it. Right here, see this dot? Boom. See right here where my pointer at? Boom. All right, let's go back one more time for you. And then we're gonna speed it back up regular so you can hear the growl and everything. And I'm gonna show you the motion of this thing through the area. All right, is that capturing most of that? Yup. See the eye right there? Boom. Yup. See, that's a massive damn head, man. Hold on, let me look at my screen and make sure we got a full frame here too. Okay, yeah, we got a full frame. All right, you see it? Eye massive. The eye look like the size a little bit bigger than a daggone golf ball. Go back one more time. Go back one more time. Look how massive this thing is. And it has a gray shimmer, like it's almost transparent at the same time. Like it's trying to manifest and it's already, you know what I mean, in between. Look, look. Man, look at the ears. The ears right there. Look how massive the ears is between this tree and right there. Head, 4 pit bull size heads. Good God Almighty, man. Look at that, man. It's right there in your face. That's why I was like, I had to get it up on big screen for you get it clear, man. So you could see it, because a lot of people couldn't see it when I had it on the small screen. Had to do this live in projection, baby. Look at this. Good God Almighty, man. Ain't no way in the world, man. And he had his son with him. I think his son was at least about, what, 9 or 10 years old, I think, man. Somewhere around there, maybe 8 years old. Now we're gonna go back to regular speed, right? And I'm gonna let y'all hear this thing. I'm gonna let him, y'all hear what he's saying and what his son is doing. All right, wind it all the way back. I'm gonna put the mic closer to the speaker. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Ray, go. Oh, I'm sorry. So all right, listen. What is it? Hold on. We're winding it back. Wait. What is it? What is it? Bad. Hey, get over here. Ray. What is it? What is it? Stay behind me. What is it? No way. Are you kidding me? All right, let's go. Go. Ray, go. Oh, I'm sorry. So all right, listen. What is it? What is it? Is it following us? Stay with me. All right. Bring the mic back closer to me. Shout out to the chat. I can't see the chat, so I'm using my phone to screen record this projection. Look right here at the tree right here. And then I'm gonna show you this exact being. It's blurry because the compression of the vehicle. Excuse me, of the video. But watch how this thing comes through this portal right behind this tree. This is what we talking about with the thing about Bigfoots and all that, and with the dog man traveling in and out of treeways too. That's why they travel through the trees. That's why they always tell you, look up trees. If you in the area and you hear it get quiet, look up a tree. If you see it, get the hell up out of there. Don't stick around. But watch this. Right here with my pointer at. That's where it start manifesting. He gonna reach out. Watch the arm. Now remember that. Remember that arm. Now I'm gonna bring it back. All right. All right. Let me stop it right here. Boom. All right. Remember that arm right there has reached out like that. No, it's blurry, and you see the black shadow is that portal is right here. This thing is massive though. It was gray, transparent back there with that large eye y'all seen there. And when I tell you, man, these things, well, it's the reason why they call them shapeshifters and skinwalkers, because most of them can shift like that. Now, let me show you a picture of this thing that somebody else captured years ago. All right, this is the type of one you were seeing. That's why I was moving when it was moving. I'm gonna rewind the video and break it down on how it was moving through the bushes in the beginning when he first spotted it. And he was like, he told his son, come on, get back here. You know what I mean? Because he spotted it. He said, what the hell is that? That ain't no bear. Because it was walking on 2 feet. And then it got down on all fours. Like this one right here. You see the long snout on this thing. Ears laid back. A lot of them don't have the up tall, protruding ears. A lot of ears laid back. This one, you can see the muzzle like a German Shepherd. This is the one that we talk about where they have a long muzzle like a German Shepherd here. And then you can see the paws here. Large hand. Muscle definition right there. And see almost like what I told you, the gray shimmer right here off the fur. When it can blend in, it blends in, man. So let's go back. Break this down again. All right, now watch this. And let me let you hear the growl again right here. This is crazy. Like I said, be careful with your children out there.
What is that?
When you're out here hunting and you fishing, you game fishing and stuff. Listen to this thing.
What is that? What is it? Hey, get over here. Get over here, Rafe. What is that? What is that? Stay behind me. What is it?
Bingo. Big eye right there. All right, now, let me break down the motion. You hear that growl, man? That would have been terrifying enough. And then to have my child right there with me, that would have sent me to the moon. Let me show you something. All right, let's see if he start moving. All right, boom. Now, watch this spot right here, because you seen how fast. That's why I said it had to be more than one, because that one was massive there. It had to be more than one, because right back here is where you seen that large eye that appeared. Unless, like I said, it moved so fast, because they do move fast. I showed you the Woodstock, Georgia dog man, and that one moved like the wind, faster than the wind. But watch right here. You're going to see this thing starts to approach and creep as it's growling. All right, you see the shadows as it starts right here. Watch where my arm, and it's almost transparent and black at the same time. Let me go back a little bit. All right, watch where my mouse is. You can see a large shadow start. He said, are you kidding me? See what I'm saying? Let's get up out of there. Ain't no way. Watch this again. Massive. It's no way. And it was on 2 feet, then it got on 4. And then at this point, he turns around and he sees it and can't believe what he's seeing. He's like, is it following us? And it's right here behind the tree. That's how fast it moved. It was already, you know what I mean, closing in. Time to go. Yes, sir. Even the baby scared to death, man. Let's go. Check
The
this out,
fuck
though.
is that? The fuck is that in the woods?
All right. Let me see if we lined
Hello?
up on the screen.
Hello?
All right, see if we lined up enough on the screen. Hold on a second. Let me line up my screen here. Lock that in place. Okay. We good, we good, we good. Hold on. Let's get us set up right quick. Hold on, cause this daggone thing. All right. All right, let me get out the shadows of that. Dang it. All right, move back a little bit. I think it's up good enough. Let me see. Prop it up some. All righty, we good. I'm good in my camera frame. All right, let's go back. Let's see what the hell this is.
The fuck is that in the woods?
Hold on.
Hello? Hello?
All right, hold on. Let's look at that again. Another dog man here.
The fuck is that?
Red eyes.
The
That's
fuck
what
is
I
that
call
in the
this one,
woods?
red eyes right here. Look at how tall the ears is on this one though.
Hello?
Vicious.
Hello?
Man, that's amazing. Ain't no way in the way. I ain't gonna be saying hello
The
either.
fuck is that in the woods?
Ain't no way, man.
Hello?
That's what we talk about with the red neon eyes.
Hello?
Never seen the ones with the red eyes personally. I've been face to face with the amber eye color one. This right here, Appalachia Dog Man down here. We got the video feed for that on my page here and on Patreon. This thing right here was absolutely massive. I'm talking about absolutely massive right here. Muzzle, the eyes offset, the mange, man, it looked like a walking lion slash hyena. This is one of the ones that we talk about that look like the hyena and the lion mixed, you know what I mean? Massive, absolutely massive. Terrifying. And of course, let's check this out. Then we're gonna get into this book, man, after we check out a video too. This one down in Texas right here, I believe. Massive.
So I think I saw something.
Cause I think I saw something. Yeah, man. Absolutely massive. Check this one out. This is what I talk about transparent and walking there. These are the ones that look like they slumped over, right? Or like they're on all fours, but they aren't completely on all four. They're slumped over. Watch how it walks. It's on 2 feet, but lean over long arms. That's massive. That one has to be at least almost 12 feet tall right there. Massive. Look at it again. Massive, man. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm parked right now and I see that. If them gears don't start shifting in
I
reverse,
think I saw something.
man, yeah, you saw something. I'm up out of there. Let's look at it one more time. That's massive, man. Matter of fact, let's slow it down one time, too,
Okay.
so we can get a
So I
good
think
look
I
at
saw
it.
something.
Let's slow it down one time. Get a good look at this one. Look how massive that is, man. Ain't no way. All I would have heard was tires screeching. They would have turned around if it was going to do something. It'd have to been chasing the car in motion the other way.
Okay, so I think I saw something.
Yeah, my boy said, I think I saw something. Yes, sir.
Oh, what are you barking at?
All right, let's zoom this in. This is crazy.
Dog is barking hard.
Zoom this in. This is crazy.
Man, it's a full moon tonight, y'all. Full moon tonight. I don't know what the hell he's barking at. I have no idea. What the hell is he barking at? What the hell is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that, y'all?
He asked the dog. Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh.
Hold up. Nah. Hold up. Did he just ask the dog what it is? Let's rewind that. Hold on, G. We gotta rewind that one back. That's crazy. The whole time he talking to the dog, he like, what is that? What is that?
Barking at.
What you barking at? Okay, yeah, you talking to the dog then. I thought he had somebody else with him.
Barking hard.
He asked, what was that? Look at the eyes on this thing. Amber color eyes, almost neon green.
Full moon tonight.
All right,
What the hell is barking?
get that cursor out the way right here.
No idea.
Yeah, you about to find out what he barking at in a minute.
What the hell is that?
Hold on, now that's red eyes. Hold on, is that red? Oh nah, man, you see the ears? You see the ears? No sir, no sir. Hold on, G. Y'all see the ears on that? Let's bring it back one time. Hold on.
Full moon tonight.
Hold on, bring it back one time. Let me let y'all hear how this thing sounds, man. Get it close up on the speaker here. See if y'all can hear this. Wind it back. Right when it first start growling, when he keep asking what it is. Hold on, let's go back.
That dog was barking hard. See nothing. Man, it's a full moon tonight, y'all. Full moon tonight. I don't know what the hell he's barking at. I have no idea. What the hell is he barking at? What the hell is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? What the fuck is that, y'all? What the fuck is that? Oh.
You seen it right there. I want one more look at the ears before we go to this book. That's crazy, right? When he started growling. Out of there. He did the right thing. Time to go. And then it looked like it was starting to approach too. All right, here we go. Look at the ear. You almost see the ear in the light of his eyes off the top. That's crazy. No way. No way. This thing is massive too, man. Absolutely massive. This is crazy. There's no way. Look, see, it's approaching. Start leaning forward. Out of there. Yeah, that's a massive dog, man. But let's get to this book feed, though, man. That's crazy, right? What y'all know about this, man? I'm going to try to read this. I need my glasses. It's clear on y'all, and the camera sees better than I do. So let's see if we can get into this thing. Let me borrow this up off them right quick, man. We're going to get into some crazy stuff, man. Crazy sightings and all that. I'm telling you, this stuff is real, man. Uh-oh, what we got? What we got? What we got? Oh yeah, I got it. Let's go. Okay, so how I get to the next page? Oh, this is a flip right. Usually I can scroll up and down. This is different. Damn, this is blurry. Hold on, let me see if I can get the auto focus right on this, man. Hold on. I might have just read through the phone on this one. Let me see if that's clear before we get into it, man. Oh. Damn, I gotta restart my lab, motherfucker. Ain't that about a bitch? Damn. It's still going. Hold on, live, still live. My bad, y'all. Man, computer, I done hit the damn thing, man. Let me try to get this back right. Technical difficulties. As you see, I got a makeshift screen. I told you I'm gonna get a real screen. I gotta get my equipment right, G. All right. Now, back. God, dog. Open that page back. I'm like, God, dog, man. Son of a bitch. All right, let's restore that. All right. Thank you for bearing with me for a minute. I'm trying to see if I can read it from the phone instead. All right, let's get it loaded right. Get it locked and loaded up here so we can get a clear view of this. All right. And they're saying this dedication. Okay. Wish I could zoom in a little bit further. Shout out to all the chats. I can't see the chats. I'm live on the phone. And I had forgot almost like I forgot. I'm not live on the computer. I got a computer projecting. I'm thinking the whole thing going off here. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. With this here, let's go though. Let's get into it. Get this next page, man. I probably, next time I go live, I'll be on the computer. Let me see if I can zoom in some. Let's get it zoomed in. Yeah, we definitely gonna zoom in on this one. Since it is a right to left read, we got this. Now, hold on, let me see what we got here. Hold on now, I might have to zoom back out a little bit just so I can see. All right. Appreciate it. Oh, okay, I see that comments coming up on the screen now when you're on the phone live. Appreciate that. Okay. Let me see. See what they say over there. As I say, I'm gonna definitely have to get my glasses on. When I get this other sheet, it's gonna be clear anyway so I can see it. So let's see, let's zoom on this side. Says the creature does not languish. It has not retired. That means I may not rest either. It comes skulking through my emails, prowling in my phone, or holding up inside stamped envelopes posted from Maine. So this is people who actually sending in witness encounter reports. This is what Linda Godfrey is saying right now. Like, she can't get away from it because, like, you know, it's something that's real. It's physical in sense. It's paranormal, but it's physical in sense. And so, long as this thing is around, the research is abound. You get what I'm saying? The reports are legion and sometimes demanding. People see an unidentifiable creature and they want to know what it is and what it wants. But what they seek most urgently is some logical reason why they were chosen to learn that indeed unexplained things exist. So people saying, you know, why did they have to see that? Why was it them that seen it? You know what I mean? All right, it says, the last time I checked, humanity had yet to learn everything there is to know. As a human, therefore, and in the absence of a captured specimen, I don't know everything about this beast. In fact, I know very little that I could cite as fact. Not even after 17 years of research. It says, expeditions, 17 years of research, expeditions, interviews, reports, the polygraphing of witnesses, and much writing of books. There simply is no tangible evidence aside from a few footprints that unknown upright canids walk among us. That does not mean I lack for theories. Most of them settle somewhere to either slope of the, I can't barely see that. Let me see if we can get that clear right there. Great Divide, the slope of the Great Divide. Natural animal and supernatural thing. A cryptozoological beast, or as J.K. Rowling has Williamsley put it, a mythological one. For all we know, it could run out to be, let's see what we at up here, something that straddles both categories, or it could be compromised a variety of phenomena, from misidentified animals to relect species to otherworldly entities we can never hope to capture in physical form, unless someone invents a Ghostbusters movie-style capture machine. Not holding my breath on not holding my breath for that. But what she don't realize is they've been capturing these creatures like this. Most of them are the ones in the labs creating these creatures like this. Get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you're seeing these creatures and, you know what I mean, like this, most of the time they're coming from laboratories, just like the Montauk Project. Shit, hold on to this. Let me lock this thing in. All right, there we go. But yeah, let's get into some encounter reports though, man. I'm going through this slow intro. Let's get to some real meat and potatoes on here. See what we got here. Let's see. See what we got here. Hold on. All right, let's see. Let me see if I want to. All right, hold on. Let me check. It's autofocus too. Okay, that's a bit better right there. Whole lot better. Appreciate that. I see the screen. I see the chats coming up. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. Where we at right here? It says, hold on. Trying to see where I'm going to start at. She said, I admit we were all a bit nervous. We had staked the place out for several hours, catching yellow eyes blinking at us from the bushes. At one time, hearing what sounded exactly like a very large dog shaking out its fur. A sound no dog owner could fail to identify. No more than 30 feet from the road. So y'all hearing this about the yellow eye blinking in the video, just like them seeing the yellow eye blinking while they was on Monster Quest, when they was out there doing the Monster Quest show. If you go back and check that show with Linda Godfrey in it, that episode, it'll come up, you can Google it, right? They actually had the same thing happen with the yellow eye blinking in the bush, like that video I just showed you with the dog man chasing his son, the man and his son on the video, right? You'll see it occasionally blinking his eyes, watching people from the bushes like that. It's stalking, just like a lion. In most cases, when they do attack him, they have had a witness. I think his name was Martin Groves or something like that. He was I believe he was a retired I think it was game warden or something, or park official or something. Hold on, let me get this set up right quick. This thing is hanging off here. Get this tripod set right. But yeah, he was a retired gang warden or something like that, and yeah, he witnessed while he was out there fishing. He was fishing in the state park and actually seen a couple who was camping close to the creek bed were stalked by a dog, man. He was trying to yell for them to pay attention and look behind him, and it got low like a lion did, he said, and then it ran straight towards him, and that was it. He said it was the most horrible sight he's seen in his life. Well, let's get it right here. Let's see what we got. Adding to the eeriness, emotion, it said adding to the eeriness, a motion detector on the building lit periodically when none of us were near it. We trained some large flashlights up and down the little used road and across the building's front lawn, and we agreed that something was circling us, staying just outside the lit areas. Since the witnesses claim to have seen upright wolf-like creatures, there are several other times they were quite sure they knew what that something was, right? And it seemed like a good opportunity to finally get for photographic proof. So basically, right here, what they're saying is some was circling the areas, right, doing a live TV show filming, trying to capture this thing. It was setting off motion detectors. That's the paranormal part that comes in, where it can actually shift its dimensional body, where it is physically here moving and setting off things like motion detector lights, and then it can show and appear. It's almost like a spirit. That's crazy, right? Urban legend turns real. In early June 2006, I had received my email from Michigan college student John Lyons. He wrote that on the night of June 7 at about 2:30 a.m., he and three male friends had gone to check out an old church. He said, actually a school, but he said because they had heard rumors of Dogman in the area, one of the friends, Sean, had visited the area before and had his own sighting. That night, the three parked in front of the partially rehabbed building, which is surrounded by woods and marsh. Then they settled back to wait in the darkness, right? I had found the case compelling not only because of the recent nature of the sightings, but because the events involved multiple witnesses and at least two individual creatures. In fact, I had the opportunity to interview Lyons by phone only a day after his initial sighting. The following is a slightly edited transcript of the interview I conducted on June 8th, the same day he emailed me. His quotes are in response to my questions. There were crickets, and what did he say right here? There were crickets around, right? John said, and all of a sudden, you already know what's finna happen here. Let's see what he say. You already know what's finna happen. What we say about what happens when a large predator comes into the area. The woods get completely still and quiet, right? So he's saying all of a sudden, let me see, hold on, the crickets. Hold on. Let's go back one page. My bad, y'all. Let's go back one page. Let me get it right. This daggone arm is weak on this joint. That's why I gotta get some real equipment over here, man. Get some real equipment. All right, hold on. This jank staying up here. All right, hold on a second. Move this thing back. I have to lock this in place better than that. Nah, that's what I want. Right there. Let me get that right there. All right. Hold on a second. I got to go through this page. All right, bring it back. So right here, hold on, what is saying at the bottom? Hold on. My bad. So right there, it's saying, what do you say? Okay. I think I see where we was at. It says there were crickets all around, John said, and all of a sudden they all stopped. I kept seeing something move over in the woods, kind of a silhouette. I thought it was a deer until we shined the light on it. Must have been 6'9". It was huge, tall. It was a humanoid. I could see below the midsection, could see thighs but not feet. I'm believing it's bipedal. The hair was either dark brown or black, probably dark brown. Must have covered most of the body, maybe an inch long. We did see one arm. One of my friends saw it. His arms was larger than human. He said we were sitting in the car comparing it to our bodies. We were only, what he said, we were about 50 feet away. And it was behind a tree in a little wooded area. And it stood half behind the tree and half exposed. Frightened, the trio decided to leave. They drove away, but returned after a few minutes, determined to figure out what they had seen. They were startled when the building motion light went on and they heard something moving quickly through the brush. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So these encounters like this, man, you can't be out here playing with this stuff, man. You know what I mean? These things are highly dangerous. But a lot of people don't know. They just want to see what it is. I got to get a closer look. Curiosity kills a cat, Jack. Telling you, it ain't no joke. All right, it says, my buddy sitting in the back of my hatchback car said, "What's that?" wrote John. Excuse me. My buddy sitting in the back of my hatchback car said, "What's that?" wrote John. In the tall weeds on the side of the road were two yellow eyes kind of slanted in a way. It didn't have a long snout like a dog. The snout was narrow. It wasn't human. It wasn't dog. It wasn't flat faced like a human. All I saw was hair underneath what I presumed to be a jaw. Man, like a cape or mange. Like, see what I'm saying? That's when we talk about the mange like a lion. From what I saw, it was slender in stature, not beefy. I would guess 210 to 220 pounds. The head reminded me of a canine shape. And it says the kind of a triangle looking head. It was looking straight on at us. It could have had ears, but it was too dark to see them. I've seen pictures of Bigfoot, but I don't think this was a Bigfoot. When we saw it in the light, when it was standing still, the first time it looked like it was a little hunched. He added, I had the distinct feeling this thing wanted to hurt us. I was holding the mag light and I was shaking so bad I actually dropped it. When we left, the eyes were behind the car and the guy looking back thought he saw something go from 2 to 4 legs. It went down on all fours and went really fast. The creature chased the car for a short time. The second time, they drove away. John told me, that's crazy. Oh, I said, don't go out there playing with it, man, because sometimes you're not going to get lucky. It might get up on you close enough and then it's over with. I put a Bible on what I just said. It was, what'd he say? It was not a human he said it was not a human in a suit or a bear. I put a Bible on what I said. I'm majoring in radiology, so I know enough about the body. He said systems and anatomy to tell about the features, right? I didn't notice any reproductive organs. There was a lot of hair in that area. I don't think this was a paranormal creature. It was biological, not ghostly. I got home and I was so intrigued and freaked out. I sat down and Googled Dog Man and got your website. John told me that he was determined to go back for another look, and he did so the following week with Sean and their friend Aubrey, right? I received this email from him at 3:57 a.m. on June 15th. Linda pardoned the French, but there is some weird going on here. I cannot describe the depth of how freaked out I am right now. John said that he, Sean, and Aubrey had waited for only 10 minutes that night before spotting a light-shaded object in the woods. After a few minutes, they shined their mag light at it and estimated it stood about 80 feet from the car. This thing was gray and big. John wrote, unlike my first sighting about a week ago, When I saw it, it was kind of squatting, but not really. The closest thing I can relate it to was how an ape sits. The trio was frightened enough to leave, and as John turned on the ignition, Sean yelled that the creature had stood up. They drove about, and let's see what it said, half a mile. Let's see. And when it did not chase them again, they decided to return to make sure they weren't just imagining something. It only looked a few minutes before They said it only looked a few minutes before they spotted the same light color object. Now the next few things I'm going to tell you might not be in exact order, he wrote, because to be honest, I still can't collect all my thoughts. He said in essence, John dashed out of the car to get another flashlight from the trunk, and by the time he hopped back in, Sean and Aubrey had lost sight of the creature. But they began to hear animal noises coming from behind the building. He described them as not a bark, 4 or 5 pitches, like a pack of dogs fighting over something. But this was not a sound a dog would make. It was far too high pitched and almost sequential, right? I am not sure what almost sequential means, but the three listened, frozen, for an estimated 30 seconds until the noise ended. It said it was only another half minute, but before Aubrey said she heard something outside the car. The building's motion light then went on, and John gunned the engine and drove from the area a final time. So that's crazy. Like I said, man, they be wanting to get a sight, man, and you gotta think, man, these things are dangerous. You know what I mean? It already has a sense that somebody is in the area, and then it's going to approach, but it's going to stay hidden in the shadows until it can get its hands on somebody. You see what I'm saying? Like the young boy out there in Kentucky, they said that he was at his window at his room. The window was probably at like 6 feet up, the way their foundation was set up, and he was snatched out his window, and he was found half eaten up the side of a mountain. Well, not mountain, but a hillside. See what I'm saying? Half eaten. They said the injury was horrendous, man. He was half eaten. See what I'm saying? So you got to be careful out here, man. And then the thing about it, how they sit down and squat like apes, almost like too. How the motions, they have mannerisms like apes, but they move super fast. I'm talking about supernaturally fast. Birthplace of the legend, Reed City, the Osceola County town is also known for its museum dedicated to the famous Christian hymn. The old rugged cross lies within easy driving distance of the Lake County, Luther, and various sighting spots in West Fork County. These areas are the heart of Dogman lore, forever more memorialized in the mostly fictional song, The Legend, by former Transverse City disc jockey Steve Cook. That's that Dogman song he made back in the 80s, I believe. Or early 90s one. 1987, ain't it? Yep, 1987. So it was the 80s. All right, let's skip ahead, though. Let's get to some sauce, man. Let's see what they talking about. I want to get into some books that's heavy on strange attacks or murders and stuff. What the hell they got going on here? Okay. The Michigan Dog Man. My bad, y'all. All right. Earlier in 2006, Monster Quest documented the Reed City sightings as supporting evidence for their initial American Werewolf episode. And yet, other than a brief portion of John Lyons' interview, very little of the video shot on that trip made it into the film. You know why. Y'all already know why. You see what I'm saying? They clip out all of the good information and what his witness testimony reports and video footage they possibly had. A big reason for this was that the new HD camera the crew used somehow added a line of unusable technological data to every picture frame. Unerasable technical data to every picture frame. Sounds like somebody hacked something here. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want these frames to come out and this certain footage to come out, and they're saying that that the camera added a line of unerasable technological, technical data to every picture frame. That's crazy, considering how often weird electronic glitches seem to put the kibosh on the documentation of cryptid research. Perhaps this shouldn't have seemed surprising. Something else really did surprise me. My own digital Menalota was containing images of strange footprints around the schoolhouse, unexplained animal eyes, and more. Somehow disappeared from the passenger seat of the History Channel's rented van that evening. You see, 1 a.m. after I stopped shooting and placed it there. See, I told you, it's no conspiracy when it's the truth. It's no coincidence. They took her own footage. I believe this is either John or Linda Godfrey who was doing the time. This might have been John talking here. But they took his camera, his personal camera, with all his footage on it and disappeared it. See what I'm saying? With the footprints and everything. That's crazy, right? So, who took it? The witnesses were, in my view, of the cameramans at all times. Only one car came down the road the whole time we were there, and there were no other dwellings nearby. It has occurred to me that the witnesses could have arranged to have a companion in a fursuit skulk around the area, and that perhaps this person managed to dart from the bushes, open the door of the van without the videographer or myself taking notice, nabbed my camera, and then quickly closed the door without making even a soft click, but it seems unlikely. We stayed very close to the van. Acoustics were extremely good there, and anyone wearing a fursuit on that hot and muggy night. Look at this. Monster Quest cameraman shoots Mike Agarza in a ghillie suit, reenacting his charge in the first Gable footage. And that sucked. His reenactment didn't fit the bill. It didn't fit the narrative they was trying to put down. It was a lie. It was a real dog man in the footage, the original footage that we seen. But yeah, they try to lie about that too. That's how you know when they say they disappear some footage and it happens on set. And these people write about it in their books and say, yeah, we was asked to come out to Monster Quest and film with these guys and tell our stories and our witness testimonies. And then all of a sudden, footage and evidence disappears. And people have footage they've been holding on for years, and then they come to these TV shows and these private agencies and they disappear that. Well, let's get over here to what it was saying about, okay, on a muggy night would have been miserable. Because they're saying it's so hot. They wouldn't have had no suit on like that, right? Also, no human could duplicate that wet dog sound we heard. And human eyes don't shine in the dark. If true, however, it would also explain the upright thing I saw across the road. At any rate, all 5 of us combed the road in the ditches with flashlights for a very long time and never found my camera. Lacking another explanation, I like to say in the jest that the dog man ate my camera. If so, it wouldn't be far feasible, would it? We heard about the stories in 1940 where the dog man kidnapped a young little girl and the dog ate her hat. And when her dad asked her why you couldn't come to us, the dog wouldn't let us. Where's your hat? The doggy ate my hat. And when they seen it, it broke from the little owl that was in the middle of the water, right where it had her in the middle of the river. It was like a little owl in the middle of the river, if you can imagine that. And they seen this thing jump down in the water. It had pointy ears. It was all black fur. And it had mange on its back, and it was jetting away in the water, away from the scene. And she was left on a little owl. They crossed the creek or crossed the river and went on the owl and got her. And it had actually ate her damn hat. That's crazy, right? But let's get right here. Where was I at right here? Let's go. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. Okay. Move this thing around. I'm trying to get it. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. If so, I hope the beast found it indigestible, having no proof for that scenario. However, I continue to examine all available evidence on this entire cluster of sightings. A lot of times I would say, right, that it would have to be supernatural, possibly, that the reason why this camera disappeared. But on the set with agents who work with a live broadcast team for a national, you know what I mean, like TV shows and stuff like that, we already know that they're not going to go against the powers that be. They're not going to push too hard on a lot of things. And if it's some information like that, they may not want it out, and they may be sent just to get your evidence and gather your data and take that and disappear, hoping that you don't have copies. But yeah, let's go. One factor that argues slightly against the case validity is the fact that all the witnesses knew each other, a situation that always makes it possible they cooked up the story ahead of time. With that in mind, early on, I interviewed John's friend Sean back in June 2006. See, that's crazy. 2005 to 2006 when I had my dogman encounter down in Fort Hood, right when we was ready to hit Iraq. Sean claimed to have seen this creature a few years earlier with another friend. They were driving by the building one night, he said, when they noticed movement and then saw the yellow eyes. It was standing up on two legs and it was off in the woods at the tree line about 50 feet back, he said, and then it chased their car. We wanted to get the hell out of there. We flew into his dad's driveway. We weren't drinking or nothing. Both of us saw it. After that, we went once every 4 months, and we used to go out inside the church, right? They said we used to go inside the church. One day, there was a dead owl spread out inside the door. There was a handprint burnt into the wall. Good God Almighty, see what I'm saying? Something you're dealing with here is supernatural, Jack. Let's go to the next page. This is crazy. What is that? Hold on, what is that? Painted phone fake intestines created. Yeah, see, they put a fake clip in the original video. Excuse me, of a fake clip in the video of the Gable footage, right, of the dog man, and try to make it like they was making a horror movie. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. We know a lie when we see it, and the evidence was too prevalent. The motions inside the video of the creature showed that it wasn't a human. All right, let's see. When the Monster Quest crew visited Michigan in 2009 to tape the show's finale, right, they asked the Reed City witnesses to appear on the episode. John and Sean both stuck by their stories, but neither he or any of his friends wanted to go on camera again. They had told their experiences once, they said, and had no desire for further publicity. This is consistent with the behavior of most of the other witnesses, I might add. Yeah, because people don't want that ridicule. People do not want them threats. Because once you get out here on live national TV with these things, a lot of people tend to get threats from unknown agencies. And yeah, they follow through with those threats if you don't shut up. You see what I'm saying? The witness conundrum, right? Conundrum. The Reed City sightings are a perfect illustration of the ecstasy and the agony of eyewitness sightings, right? Without people who are willing to take the time to contact a researcher and risk public ridicule, there would be no sightings reported, and most investigations into the nature of cryptid animals would cease. I believe that. Hold on, my bad. I believe the great majority of creature sightings reports come from credible, ordinary people who have seen something extraordinary in the course of their daily travels and activities. They seldom want any more than additional information or perhaps validation. Some even say they feel they have a duty to report their experience in order to help the research. There is a very small percentage of witnesses, however, who either invent a tale completely or become obsessed with the questionable photo or video and then seek publicity for their bogus claims. Hoaxers' motives can range from a desire to have some fun at the expense of others to a malicious intent to make a researcher look foolish. Some even hope to profit by inventing a cryptic character to serve as a base for sales of CDs, T-shirts, bobbleheads, you name it. This is crazy. Want to hold on, I need to be able to see this right quick. Where is that? Want to spike what did it say? Want to spike sales of your Jersey Devil t-shirt? Spawn a few new sightings. Get Channel 92 to put it on the evening news. Auction your blobby photo on eBay. Make a fake video. Unfortunately, it's the latter group that gets most of the mainstream press and who are most often invoked by skeptics as the reason to disbelieve the other 97% of reports. The problem lies in weeding them out. A few are easy to discern, but in the end, the evaluation of any creature incident depends entirely upon the honesty of its eyewitnesses. In the American Werewolf episode of Monster Quest, the producers addressed the uncertainty of witness testimony by asking the witnesses to take a polygraph test administered by a specialist from the Minnesota area. They were limited, they were limited to those witnesses who were within close traveling range of Delvin, Wisconsin, where the expert was set up at a motel. See what I'm saying? So they cut out a lot of credible people doing that, because the ones you get may not be credible. The ones who further out may be the ones who the credible ones who don't even want to be back in the area from what they seen. See what I'm saying? And all 7 people received results of no deception detected. Hold on now. Now these ones were no deception. The producers couldn't even fit them all into the final cut of the show. See that? They should have made a part 2, part 3. Get a sip of this water, man. Hold on. But yeah, they should have made a part 2, part 3. You know how they do, make the sequels and continue it on. But usually when it's a topic like that, they don't usually stay on that topic, because they, going against the powers that be, they're not going to do that. They're not going to stick to a topic. They'll get to a topic, ridicule it, make it look fun, and then leave it alone. Of course, that only proves that they believe they saw what they reported. But what all of these people reported was something very hard to explain. And so are many of the sightings that have come, that have come my way since then. Since it is impossible for me to administer polygraph tests to all those who contact me, I simply do my best to report what the witnesses said and what I know about the person, the place, and anything else that seems important. So let's skip forward, man. They talking about the Ghostbuster thing again. Let's skip forward a little bit. I'm ready for these witness reports. That was a good one there, though. How they tell you, how they try to, do the show, and then all of a sudden, they don't get all the witness reports out there. It's too much information that's too real for them, I guess, and too many actual, credible witness reports out there that proves a point. Because all you need is one set of eyes. You don't even need a camera. One set of eyes will put you in jail. They point you out right on the stand. Yeah, that's him right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's so right there. I seen him right there. That's the one who did it. And somebody up the road. So when it comes to supernatural things, people have a hard time swallowing that pill. But there be a lot of people who are religious too and still don't believe it. John Lyons and his friends were not the only ones to report an upright wolf-like creature in the Reed City area. A report that echoed their claim arrived in December 2007 from a resident unrelated to the Lyons group. His sightings occurred about 2 miles north of the schoolhouse sightings near a chain of small lakes. Between the two sightings areas lies mostly undeveloped, sparsely populated rural land, right? So this is a rural land, sparsely populated. So it's thick and thin. You got people spread out everywhere, right? Fuel here. You might have a mile in between some of these houses, man. 2 miles. The year was about 1994, and the witness was a young teen at the time. He had a nightly habit of sneaking out of their rental farmhouse, right, to smoke cigarettes behind the garage, facing a big rotten barn. His habit was strong enough to draw him outdoors even on a snow-filled January night. The buildings ring with half drifts, right? So he was turned towards the barn, he said, when he saw a dark shape poking out of a broken board in the barn wall. At first he thought it must be some unknown hunk of farm equipment, but as he continued to watch the equipment move, it had a strange look to it. He wrote almost like it had eyes and large pointy ears, but I figured it was my imagination running wild. After all, this barn was quite a ways from where I was standing, and it was dark. It was dark out, so I just kept staring at it and smoking. A noise coming from the nearby woods startled him, and and he saw the thing turn its head to look as well. Last I checked, he said, farm equipment does not move after it turned its head to the noise. It turned right back to me. It had been watching me the whole time. It wasn't going to take my, I wasn't going to take my eyes off it. See what I'm saying? So he was out there sneaking out there smoking behind his parents' back. And then he was out there and not seeing this thing until he looked. And then, usually be a hair to stand up on your neck. But just imagine how the amount of time that it would be in between where you might not see it and it just might creep in really fast and snatch you up, right? So he said he wasn't taking his eyes off it. He estimated the creature stood 6 feet tall on his hind legs and was dark in color. It had a dog-like appearance. He said, a pointy nose and real big pointy ears. It looked as if it kind of had a hunchback. But like I said, it was far away and it was dark and it was in the barn. I walked backwards into the house because I was terrified to turn my back to the thing, even though it was too far away to catch me that fast. Once inside, he said he grabbed the flashlight and hands trembling, told his mother what he had seen. Predictably, she did not believe him. He ran back outside, right, and trained the flashlight on the barn from a safe distance, but the creature was no longer there. We checked for footprints in the snow for the next day. Let me do it again. He checked for footprints in the snow the next day, but there were none, leading him to wonder if it might still be in the barn. He also noticed that the drift where the creature had stood was more than 3 feet high, and the creature stood 4 to 5 feet higher than that. So it's crazy. And this is where it comes in. He thinks it's in the barn because he sees no footprints. But a lot of times they don't leave footprints because of what? Supernatural. They move supernaturally, dude. And a lot of cases where people go missing and strange things like that involve a lot to do with a lot of supernatural activity like this that leaves no footprint, no trace, unless it's a craft or a UFO or something like that that happens to pitch his tent down on the ground, and leave tracks or strange markings from the object, from the weight of the object itself or something. Sometimes they leave tracks, sometimes they don't. Now, the easiest way to explain that is just like I did, supernatural. So he said, the witness said he considered and discarded the possible explanations. It was the wrong shape for a bear, too big and bipedal to be a dog, and too cold for some neighbor to be playing tricks on him. A female friend also saw something strange outside that house while visiting after that incident. She just started crying one night, he said, and it took me hours to get her to tell me. She just said, I seen something the size of a buffalo and it looked like a dog, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. You see how massive, like the one we just seen on that video feed back, I think about like 40, 30 minutes ago, where it was a damn dog, man, that was the size of way bigger than a Yosemite National Park buffalo. You know what I mean? Way bigger than the American buffalo. Gigantic. She seen this thing and it said it looked like a dog. You know how much fear that would put into you to see something like that? That massive, man, that's crazy, right? It's crazy. But it's real, man. I told you, the one I seen was 12 feet tall. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm glad there was two other people right there that see it with me. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. All right. I knew what she had seen. I didn't tell her I had seen it too. She was already too scared as it was. He said that while he did not see this creature again, his family was concerned that pets, especially cats, began to go missing. So that's what happened, right? The cats go missing, the pets go missing like that. That's crazy, right? At the time, he said he had never heard of the dog man legend and didn't know that other people near Reed City had seen the creature until he saw my account of it online. Again, I am keeping the identities of witnesses private, and if I have the slightest doubt that they want to go public or if their name has not already been identified elsewhere. That's crazy, right? We gonna get back into this. I'm gonna make sure I pop back in on this book later. This is a test run. It didn't go too bad, it didn't go too shabby, it didn't go too good either, but we gonna do something else. Try to get this thing right, man. Try to get my daggone tripod equipment together, get me a real screen with no splits in it. This is about 56 sheets of printing paper right here. Ingenuity, old American ingenuity, Jack. But yeah, till I get this screen set up and stuff, man, we gonna get on it though. We gonna have some fun with this. Usually I do this on the computer, which I am gonna switch back to doing it on the computer to where, I be able to scroll, but I don't have the secondary screen right now, so I can't scroll on that, you know what I mean? And use that while I'm doing live recording with OBS or StreamYard or something. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. We on page what? 11. So let's remember that, page 11. I say 11. Y'all stay up, man. Keep God first. God is always within you, and God is always with you. Common sense and discernment doesn't fall from trees, nor does it grow from one. I appreciate y'all being here with me and rocking with your boy. I'll be back with another one.